Yeah, we can dive into sort of the layering of non-proportional a little bit, but if we use the analogy of traditional insurance, when you buy insurance for your home or for your car, there's sort of, even though we know the spectrum over the range of claims could be a small fire or a small flood in the home or a total loss of the property, but you generally would just buy coverage for the whole thing. But when you look at a portfolio of risk, the range is quite a bit more varied variant as you suggested. So we know that on any given year we expect losses to sort of be here, and every 25 years we might have a small event which would cause this amount of losses, but in 100 years we'd expect a really, really large event. So what an insurance company will do then is buy various layers of coverage. So they'd say, well, layer one is what we'd expect to have every few years. We would need to have additional coverage from here on out. And then, but what they don't want to do is then set, because as you said, the losses can be enormous. But buying every single year coverage in a single layer that's just goes up to hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds of coverage doesn't make sense. So what they then instead decide to do is break that coverage into different layers and then be able to purchase those different levels of coverage at their own price points. So the first level, which is usually like the lowest layer, the working layer, is a bit more expensive in relation to the amount of coverage, because it's very likely the reinsurer will pay some claims into that first layer. But as you go up, the proportion of premium that you pay in relation to the coverage goes down. So if you think about the very top layer, it would have had to have incurred a bunch of claims all the way up the tower before that gets touched. So different reinsurers will charge less money at that level because the amount of losses would have to be quite high to get to there in the first place. And it also sort of lends itself to different reinsurers who have different appetites for risk. So reinsurers who like to write on the lower layers take more premium for that risk, but they also are more exposed to potential claims down there. And the higher you go, they get a bit less premium for the exposure that they have, but it's also less likely that they'll pay the claim. So it's a really easy mechanism to align risk appetite with income appetite that those reinsurers would have. So it's all about matching these things up.